make you host. Okay, now you are host. You can go on.
Can you see the screen now?
Yes.
Yes, that's good. And shall we wait for our
Okay, let's wait.
I guess we lost some.
And Özlem hocam, are you here? Yes, you are here.
Yes, I'm here.
Okay, then. Yes, Chatterpix is the last source I would suggest you. In fact, it's not a website, it's an application. This application helps students create animated pictures which can be used as greetings, messages, creative cards, or even fancy book reports. Simply taking a photo, drawing a line to make the mouth, and recording your voice is enough. And here is an example of it.
From Turkey. My name is Peri. I'm 9 years old. My favorite animal is koala. See you.
The students can create this kind of short videos according to your needs, as it is suggested. Book reports can be done with it. And thank you for joining and listening. If you have any questions or any contributions, any comments, we would be glad to hear them.
Yes. Thanks all for joining and listening.
Thank you, Berna hocam, Özlem hocam.
We thank you.
We thank you.
Let's wait if they... You can, dear participants, you can open your microphones and ask your...
I'm here, Ayşe. It's very nice to see a face of an old friend from university.
Thank you very much. Nice
And I also see our other friends in the...
Yes, Jan and Ferda, they were here.
Yeah, it's very nice to be here and to listen to you. And thank you, Berna and Özlem teachers.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
May I ask something?
Yes.
This is for Khan speaking. This is for Khan speaking.
Uh-huh.
Will we be able to hear or attend to these kind of meetings in the future? Will there be more of these kind of meetings? Because we missed just a little bit, let's say. And it contributes, of course, because we teach now. So thank you.
We hope you have, Berna and Özlem hocam, we hope you have that kind of webinars for us in the future. Yes, we need them.
I know. We will be glad.
Okay, we will be really happy. I learned a lot. I'm very happy to see you again. Okay. We are also happy to see you. Thank you. I'm so happy to see you after 9 years, really 9 years. Okay, that's good. Our assessments, I think it's up to your school, Safa. It may change from school to school. How should we do our assessment? Generally, we don't have exams, online exams generally are used. Okay, so you're going to listen to your school's guidance, let's say, for this one.
Thank you.
Or you're going to give your own assessment by looking at your students' presence in your online lessons. Okay.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Burcu hocam has a question. She wrote, do you think that teaching online should be in education faculty programs?
What do you think, Burcu? Are you happy with this online education? Not maybe all of the lessons, but some parts. Why not?
Actually, I am happy. And this is kind of my thesis subject.
Yes.
Like doing something online. So changing the education faculties programs, not wholly online, but at least we can have some materials with online, because we have like material development courses, but we can add like how can we teach online, so we can practice more online tools on there.
And I think if it goes on like this in the future, we may need to add some how to teach online courses, I think, to the program of education faculties. Most probably we will need it, you will need it. Maybe we will go on teaching online, at least some part of our program online. Okay, why not? Maybe writing lessons, something like this. For 3 weeks, students can be at home, and for the 4th week, they can come to school.
Yeah.
It can be something like this. We don't know, but most probably the teachers will need some kind of more online teaching sources or programs. You're right.
May I ask a question, please?
Of course.
To Professor Köprülü and Güryay, right? Güryay.
Güryay.
Okay, I'm sorry. So I guess the main problem of our teachers here, sometimes they cannot motivate their students to join and participate the activities that you design for online education. So we feel isolated. I mean, you're just in front of the screen and all alone. Just, you know, the example we have just experienced today, you ask questions to about 50 people, but nobody was volunteered to just answer. So do you have any kind of solution or strategies that teachers can use to motivate their student participate more? Because whenever I ask my students, can I see your faces? They say, oh, sorry, Hojam, I don't have my makeup. I'm not ready. And I hate my face now because, you know, I'm not ready. And I don't want to people hear my voice. So do you have any kind of techniques or strategies to help teachers? Thank you.
Yes, at university, even my students do not show their faces. I just hear their voices. But I think at the beginning they may not join, but when you begin to know each other, I sincerely ask them that I need their feedback. If they don't give me feedback in a written form or verbally, I cannot move on my lesson. And when I say something like this, they try to join. They try to say, for example, when I ask, you finished it, or would you like to ask something? They try to say, yes, no, we need time, or these kind of things. And I think the activities we share may help you to motivate your students. Generally, when things are related to their life experiences, when they talk about the topics they are interested in, they are more willing to join in. Not maybe with their camera, but it's okay when they just answer our questions. And I think it's the situation at university level. We never see our students' faces, unfortunately. Okay. And Berna, would you like to say something?
It's a similar situation with us. In fact, maybe it's the main problem with sometimes they do not show up at all, but when they come, they participate. In fact, with when I ask some discussion questions, especially I get feedback. So the questions that are, as you have said, interesting to them can be motivating for them to participate, I guess.
And I also ask some personal questions at the beginning of my lesson, what they did at the weekend, how is English going, how is life going, what about their health, etc. And they like to talk about these kind of things. And when I ask such kind of personal questions, I think they feel more relaxed, and they are more willing to share things when you ask the questions in the lesson. Okay, sometimes they also ask some personal questions. Okay, how's everything is going with you, teacher? Okay, these kind of things. So I think when we ask these kind of questions, we can make a positive interaction or relationship with our students. I think this is one of the key elements. When you have a positive relationship, try to form a positive relationship with your students. They also try hard to join in the lesson. They try to please you in a way. Okay? And some of them really like to learn English, and because of this, they want to join.
Mhm. And there are some other contributions, in fact, in the chat part.
Yes,
Thank you very
I
much for your
read-
questions.
I couldn't read many of them.
Uh,
Dear teachers.
Do you think that online teaching and learning processes have taught us to be autonomous learners? I guess so. Most of the responsibility is given to students because they need to participate, and they need to maybe more assignments, more homework than face-to-face education. And so I agree with your idea. And to the parents, sometimes this responsibility we need to give with young learners especially. And is there any other question?
Yes.
And Aslı Akay says, I think having limited time for online participation should also be taken into consideration. Yeah, yes, in fact, I agree. It's also a great maybe handicap for doing so many activities. Would you like to contribute to this, Özlem Hocam?
I couldn't find some of them. I tried to read them. Which one did you read? I couldn't.
From the last ones, in fact, I
Last
caught that one.
Thank you, dear teachers. Some micros and being rushed, having limited time. This one, no, not this one. Online teaching autonomous learners. This one, what do you think about evaluation exam? Which one did you say, Berna Hocam?
It was from Aslı Akay. I think having limited time for online participation should also be taken into consideration. It was that. And maybe we can go back to a little bit upwards.
So there are
What do you think about evaluation exam can be done online?
Evaluation exams, yes, we use online exams, but I'm not sure how fertile they are. Yes, students cannot turn back when they answer a question. Yes, students have limited time to answer questions. I think these are the only things for us to make our online exams valid. Okay? And there's nothing else I think we can do to make online exams like the exams we do in our face-to-face education, unfortunately. Okay? It's the only way. Okay? There's nothing to do. We cannot know whether they use other sources to answer the questions. We cannot be sure about it. Never. None of us, I think.
Even in the classroom, it was difficult.
Yes, but in online education, it's more difficult, really, to be part of. I try to look at, yes, it's better this way, the chat box, so I can see it better. Being rushed by the curriculum, you're right. Students responding time. Are in race about finishing the units. Yes, you're right. Maybe you don't have much time to use these kind of activities to motivate students. More reluctant for using dictionaries, especially young learners. I think nowadays, most learners like using their mobile phone dictionaries. Unfortunately, there are very few students who use their paper dictionaries, let's say, real dictionaries that we used when we were students. For young learners, I think it's really difficult for them, for young learners. And also young learners learn globally. Do they need to use lots of dictionaries? I'm not so sure about it, because you can teach them globally. It's not necessary for them to use dictionaries. Maybe for high school students, for adults, I think it's more important. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. This is my
Especially,
idea. I don't know.
I think these are all questions. Yes, there aren't any.
New opportunities. Yes, also there are new opportunities for most of our colleagues. You're right.
One last question, can I ask? sorry,
Yes.
like the one for the young learners. When
Mhm.
we are teaching to young learners, especially the ones that are in fourth graders, seeing English for the first time in their lives. They didn't see any English books. They didn't see any kind of like textbooks or even some words. But sometimes we are facing with like some kind of obstacles, like they didn't hear any English songs or something like that beforehand. Is it okay for us to like go out of these curriculum zone and like try to teach a little bit more words with the like videos or songs, or maybe using some Turkish, like especially the young learners for the first timers?
Yes, of course. If you have time, Furkan, it's really good idea to use different videos, to use different simple songs. Okay, and yes, you can use Turkish because according to the latest research, when you use your native language, especially while explaining some grammatical parts, students can understand more easily and better. So it's good for young learners. I mean, using your native language is not forbidden. Remember it. You can use, but this does not mean that you're going to speak Turkish during the whole lesson. Okay, just when you need it, just in order to check your students' understanding, or when you think that there are some kind of real problems in their understanding, why not? Of course, you can use Turkish, your native language. And then for the other parts, for classroom language, you should, of course, use English. And then your students should hear you as a teacher while speaking English. Okay, so it's good for their pronunciation also. But why not?
Thank you. Thank you so
Okay,
much.
you're welcome, Furkan.
And how can we prevent to use Google Translation? Another question. Thank you, Elif Hocam. In fact, it's difficult to prevent it, but
No way.
We can motivate them by saying that will not be good for them because in the long run their language will not develop, and maybe we can focus on that point, and in this way by persuasion we can try to persuade them to make them themselves.
Yes, I think it's the best way, because otherwise we cannot avoid them using it.
And it's a good one, by the way. It's translating quite
effectively.
when I yes. For second grade, I only dance during the lesson. Rüveyda teacher says.
Yes, Rüveyda, you can use lots of games because they are really young learners. Yeah, lots of songs, games. Yes, in fact, in our real classrooms, we use physical activities. They like physical activities. So how much physical activity you can do, okay, with your camera on, just do it. I think it's okay you dance. If they're interested in the lesson, if they learn a few things during this time, that's okay. I think during online teaching, most of the responsibility is on our students, and we should try to tell them how learning is important, why they should take their own responsibility. Okay, we should try to persuade them, I think, at the same time, because as teachers, we cannot do 100% teaching here. It's not possible. I think it's not even possible in the classroom.
Yes. And
using Turkish.
In fact, I don't know whether İlknur Hocam is still here or not. But she is doing also, as far as I follow her from social media, she is using some drama activities and with children, with her young learners, I guess. So I would suggest the same thing, dancing and using your body language is the best way with young learners, I guess.
Maybe facial expressions, because they can see our faces.
Yes, exaggerated, as you have said at the beginning. Exaggerated face expressions.
Asst wants or ask, can we have the slide possible?
İlknur Pakır hocam. Yes. Would you like to
I'm
comment on young learners?
I like games. Young learners like the games too much. So I am trying to improve their these skills because games affects them to learn more effectively. So game. We are playing using drama activities. That's all. I like playing, so they like playing. Online education, we use games. So we are going on like this. We are happy with games.
Okay. And I think
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Asst wants the slide. I think it's possible. Berna hocam, is it possible? Can we have the slide?
As far as we can arrange it, why not? We can send it. In fact, maybe
I can share it with our teachers on the Facebook page, on Facebook group of our project. And some of them I know from the other projects. I can send them the slide PowerPoint presentation again on WhatsApp.
Okay.
Yes. If you
and for the ones maybe you don't know some of them, for are those teachers, maybe I can write my email and you can if you send me an invitation like that.
Okay. Yes, you can share your email.
I can share it.
Yes, and this video will be on YouTube. If you want, you can watch it later.
I'm just having.
Thank you so much.
Okay.
We thank you.
We thank you for joining.
It was very nice to see you all.
Really nice to see all of you again.
Thank you.
Thank you for everything you teach to us again.
And we feel that we are in the classroom again. And I think we missed it a lot.
Yeah,
together with our
feeling.
students.
It's perfect. Thank you again.
I'm very happy to hear you. I'm so proud. Thank you for everything.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
It was very informative.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, dear participants and our precious guest, Özlem Hocam, Berna Hocam. It was a very useful and educational presentation. Thank you very much for your contribution to us and our project. We hope to see you again next time, maybe in other webinars. I think you will be always there for us whenever we need you. Thank you so much.
Of course. Thank you very much to all our teachers.
Yes, thank you very much to all of you. And thank you for joining and listening.
Goodbye. Good evening.
Bye-bye.
Good evening.
Good evening to all.